One side of our moon is never visible since it rotates at the same rate as our planet because it is tidally locked to Earth. The far side, which is facing away from us, has a wider surface and fewer of the black blotches that astronomers thought to be surface seas. Just the sound of the moon's dark side is ominous and magical. What is beneath the shadow of the lunar counterpart to Earth? What might be concealed from our view throughout human history, hiding in a cloak of astral obscurity? To find out, watch the entire video. The Apollo 11 crew in 1969 noticed a strange sound on the moon's far side. After losing touch with mission control, Apollo 10 began to pick up an enigmatic radio signal. Since Apollo was on the far side of the moon and nobody on Earth could see or communicate with anything there, this signal could not have originated from the planet. Nevertheless, the eerie noises persisted for approximately an hour until the astronauts made their way to the side of the moon that faced Earth. Because they were afraid they would be grounded for mental health difficulties, the astronauts chose not to report this to mission control. People consequently believed for over 40 years that the mission had proceeded as planned. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for more stuff before we continue. To sign up for new video alerts, click the bell icon. Have you already implemented it? Let us move on. What is the moon's dark side? The hemisphere of the moon that faces away from the Earth is referenced to the dark side of the moon. As sunlight does reach all sides of the moon equally, it is not any darker than any other region of the surface. It's only black to us because, due to a phenomenon known as tidal locking, that hemisphere can never be seen from Earth. The phrase dark side can lead to all kinds of misunderstandings. Therefore, it is preferable to use the term far side to describe the side we cannot see. The observations of the moon's far side. Before the Soviet spacecraft Luna 3, the third USSR probe to reach the moon, sent the first image of the moon's far side in 1959. Not much was known. Then, Soviet scientists created the first ever map of the moon's far side using these photographs. When Apollo 8 orbited the moon before landing on Earth in 1968, people once more had the chance to see the moon's far side. Why does the far side always remain hidden from us? Since the beginning of human observation, we have only ever been able to see one side of the moon because it is tidally locked to the Earth, which means that it rotates on its axis at the same rate that it orbits the planet. As a result, one side of the moon is always facing away from us. However, not all of the moon's far side is utterly mysterious to us since, depending on the moon's phase, it may disclose up to 18% of its far side to us. Human observers on the surface of the Earth due to a phenomenon called wobble or vibrations, when the moon slowly shifts on its axis. The lunar mission of China. China's Chang'e 4 has successfully touched down on the moon's far side in one piece, marking a first for space travel. James Head, a planetary scientist at Brown University, called it a momentous stride in the global scientific investigation of the moon, opening up the luna incognita of the lunar far side to surface exploration for the first time. If the mission is successful, it may provide critical insights into the Earth's lone natural satellite. For instance, there are still unanswered questions regarding the moon's origin and early evolution, which can provide insight into the solar system's history. As a critical first step toward long-term human trips beyond Earth, the mission will also carry out radio astronomy experiments from the moon's far side and the first studies to determine whether plants can thrive on the moon. When was the Yutu-2 rover launched to the moon? With China's Chang'e 4 mission, the Yutu-2 rover was launched in 2018 and arrived at the moon in January 2019. The mission's goal was to learn more about the moon's far side, or dark side, as it is known in popular culture. Contrary to its nickname, the moon's far side does not constantly appear dark. Instead, it just faces away from the Earth. The solar-powered rover sleeps when the sun sets on the moon's far side and wakes up to begin working when the sun rises over the crater. Yutu-2 has already encountered several intriguing moon characteristics during its explorations, such as a baffling gel that turned out to be a collection of melted rocks and some perplexing shards that were probably thrown from the impact of a meteor. Intriguing discoveries made by the Chang'e 4 expedition include what may be fragments of the moon's mantle. Whatever this building is, Yutu-2 will keep exploring the moon's black side in search of further hidden information. when did the first spacecraft touch down on the moon's far side? The Change 4 mission of the China National Space Administration accomplished the first successful soft landing on the moon's far side in the early months of 2019. This mission has gathered samples to ascertain the age and makeup of the surface of the South Pole Aitken Basin's bottom. The deep lunar crust and some of the mantle material were assumed to have been exposed by the impact that formed this 13-kilometer deep crater, providing a unique opportunity to better understand the moon's interior structure and origins. A larger international objective to establish a human lunar colony close to the South Pole is represented by the Change 4 mission. Given that water ice, a vital resource for any sustained human investigation, is present, the South Pole has been selected as the ideal location. Additionally, NASA has selected the South Pole as a potential landing area, the moon's near side and its distant side. The guy on the moon would not go away if you watched the moon for a whole month. He is always there, watching over you from his high perch, regardless of the moon's phases. That is a result of tidal locking between the moon and Earth. Every time it rounds our planet, it rotates precisely once, maintaining the same hemisphere pointed at Earth at all times. The near side and far side, respectively, are terms astronomers use to describe the two sides we can never see from Earth. Compared to the face we often see, the first photograph of the moon's far side revealed some unexpected variations. The Maria, which are substantial black blotches left over from previous volcanic flows, are much rarer on the far side. As opposed to the near side, it is significantly more heavily covered in craters. However, why would the moon's near side have more lava flows and volcanic activity in the far side? One of the most recognized ideas holds that a young dwarf planet collided with the moon in the early history of our solar system. Vast volumes of debris would have been pushed up by this impact and subsequently fallen back to the moon's surface, covering the far side in 5 to 10 kilometers of rubble. The crust would eventually be formed in significant part from this debris, and it is possible to find traces of it today. A different hypothesis proposes that the moon's far side has a thicker crust. The heat from the still molten Earth hindered the near side of the moon's cooling process as the Earth and moon were developing. The far side may harden more quickly and develop a thicker crust. Because of this, meteoroid strikes on the near side occasionally pierce the thin surface of the still molten mantle, sending lava to the surface to form the Maria. In contrast, if the identical meteoroid struck the moon's far side, the thicker crust would not be pierced, leading to the creation of more valleys, craters, and highlands, but none of the Maria. You would think the moon's far side would be identical to its near side. Unexpectedly, they varied considerably in comparison to the near side of the moon. The far side features a significantly higher number of impact craters and significantly fewer lunar Maria. Scientists that looked into the cause of this anomaly on the moon's far side found something pretty odd. The far side's crust is significantly thicker than that of the near side. The video is over for today. If you liked the video, please subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up. Remember to click the bell icon to get alerts when new videos are posted. Until then, bye. I'll see you in the next video.